I'm not quite sure exactly how I feel about Season 17 just yet. There seems to be an upper echelon of teams, which include the defending champions going undefeated, and teams in the bottom half of the standings who seem to be struggling, shuffling things around. A lot of stuff is in flux. That's why I'm going to need your help. Let's check out my Facebook page and YouTube communities tab for your hot takes for the things that happened in MPL Philippines Season 17, week number 2. My name is Leo. If you haven't yet, go ahead and click like on this video if you enjoy the content I make, and subscribe to see more of it. I'm an English broadcaster for MPL Philippines, and I've been doing this for quite a while, but still, the league continues to surprise me. A lot of stuff happens that none of us expect. Let's see what y'all think of what happened last week before we get into week number 3. Batzer X, I believe this is from the YouTube communities tab. Teddy Cutie is quite good at laning. You would rarely see him losing lanes. I think he might be the next big thing if Team Liquid Philippines gives him a whole season and the next. He clearly plays for the team right now. Could not disagree. Teddy is stable. I think that's the best word I could use to describe him. Steady. Teddy. Steady Teddy. So he's steady, he's stable, excellent getting there. But Eman has a different take. Hot takes, Leo. Teddy has a limited hero pool. Okay, how limited? Let me see here. How limited? Teddy has played, what, 2 matches? Teddy has played 2 matches. And those are all of the week 2 matches for Liquid. Man has played Carry, Claude, Carry, and then Moskov, Claude. I wouldn't say limited, but predictable. Until I see him do crazy things with, I don't know, hasn't played a Harith yet, hasn't played a Granger. If he Lunox, we saw Lunox from Innocent this week. If he shows something like that in week 3, then Eman, there you go. You're going to have to make a new hot take for Teddy. But yeah, no, I'd like to see more from him, if that's fair to ask. Mr. Pink, 7937. Team Liquid Philippines was ego drafting in Game 1 versus Falcons. Okay, let's watch that here. Liquid was ego drafting. The only ego drafting part of this I see is that early carry. So I don't even think it's ego drafting. I think this is more of just, keep Teddy steady. Did they lose this? Yeah, they lost this. I don't know. Teddy wasn't in trouble necessarily. I don't think this is ego drafting. I think it's more of just a weird order of things that they had to do to be able to keep the team afloat or, following a certain flow. Yeah, I don't think they were ego drafting, dog. I don't think they were ego drafting. I think it's fine. We see it more. We see weirder picks from weirder spots, then yeah, I will agree. Let's talk about Falcons now that they're here. Kengkoy, 1425. Haji fits better in Falcons lineup. His play style complements or synergizes with others compared to Few's performance in the last MPL seasons. I can't say Few does not complement them or does not, synergize, but I think we're seeing the effects of a new fire. You know how when something is new and you're in a new environment, you're just that much more motivated? I think joining a new team kind of lit a fire under Haji, and he's more motivated now. He's always been this mechanically gifted player, regardless of what role he's in. So yeah, I think that's what we're seeing here. I think that's what we're seeing. Falcons, especially with the coaches, they may have unlocked and seen what Haji can do, and that's what's allowing this early surge of great performances from Falcons out of the KDA machine. KKK 92. Falcons will turn out to be Super Marco Esports, just like in Season 16. The meta isn't fit for Kyle because of, the demand to play Leomord and Guinevere. Kyle is more, I guess, in a weird spectrum. He's more of like Fred, Baxia, and then on the other hand, he's like really good with like a Nolan or a Haya or a Fanny. So yeah, Leomord and Gwyn somewhere in the middle. Flap has been underwhelming so far. Ogun and Haji are fine, but I think Flap needs to take it up a notch because it's not Kyle's meta, and Super Marco can't carry every game. I agree that Flap needs to step up, but by stepping up, I don't mean like do more. I think it's more of keep that wild card energy to a minimum. Be more consistent. I think that's the word I'm looking for. Just Flap, be more consistent, because again, I've described the young man as a high roll. Sometimes you get a good Flap. Sometimes you get an S12, an M5 Flap. Sometimes you get a I don't know, benched out, come and play Ferds kind of flap. So that's a legitimate concern. I hope we see more of a consistent flap. Donald Rosal, last natalo na ng Team Falcons PH yung laban nila sa TL PH. Lista mo na, idol. Team Falcons lost to Liquid is their last this season. Wow. They almost lost to Aurora. Almost. More on that match later on. I think there's another take here that I would like to dig into, but I don't think Falcons are perfect just yet. I think they're very strong, but I think Aurora could get them next time around, maybe. Or I don't want to count out teams like Omega or Twist because this season they seem to be the most likely to bring out cheese and to just get you, you know? Falcons feels like a very systematic team that, especially since there's a new mid laner, that mid trio might not be as stable as like a long time built team that cheese might tear them apart. So that's just where I'm coming from. I believe Falcons are strong. They're still a top 3, maybe even top 2 team for me, but I think they might lose 1 or 2 more for sure in Season 17. So how about Aurora, our defending world champions? EXP Go27 says, Aurora is still the strongest team in the league, and they have sort of experimented in the first 2 weeks so far. Once they get back to their M7 formula of Demon Kite utility, UA dumbing and hard carries, they'll be unstoppable. I don't agree with them being the strongest team. Weirdly enough, I think the strongest team still is the defending champions. I think Liquid, even with Teddy being in there, and again, the aforementioned shallow or predictable hero pool, all that, it's hard to deny the 4 horsemen. I think Liquid are, on paper, for me, I will sign and confirm this, I see them as the strongest team in the league. Aurora might be a solid 2nd or 3rd, maybe high 3rd, depending on the day, with or without experimentation. M7 is a great feat. Like, they are, in history, the only one who won the world championship there. They stopped Alter Ego. Like, I can't take that away from them. But in Season 17, cannot deny, I think Liquid is still the strongest. But, yeah. Speaking of, here is where I wanted to point it back out. Ron Batang says, Aurora versus Falcon is the best game so far this season. The best match, story-wise, pacing-wise, game, like, intricacy, match, storytelling, narrative, pacing, just gameplay. Correct me if I'm wrong, there is no rivalry name just yet for Falcons in Aurora. Because truth be told, in the past year or 2, they haven't really like butt heads the way we wish them to. Because in my head, the only real Aurora versus Falcon kind of big time match was in Season 14 when Falcon stood in the way of Aurora on the way to the world, on the way to the grand finals, the very first best of 7 lower bracket. Like that's the last big matchup or rivalry between Falcons and Aurora. But yeah, you're right. I agree. 100%. Aurora versus Falcon going into week 3 is the most entertaining and the greatest game or match in Season 17. I think I said that on the broadcast. Like, what is this if not entertaining? I agree with you, Ron Batang. Amazing. Here's a take on Onyx. We haven't really talked about the Super Fam just yet. Bri Alcalde. At first, I thought Onyx struggles because of how unstable their EXP lanes are, given that they have 2. They have Ryota, they have Kirk. But with their recent match against TNC, I think it's not just their EXPs. It's because of King Kong as well. Ooh, I get not touching Prince. Like, Prince is relatively untouchable. I've heard some things about Brusco too, but okay. King Kong. I don't know if it's a hero pool issue or what, but teams like TNC and Falcons seem like they're forcing Onyx to pick Leomord. King Kong underperforms whenever he uses it. They ban Fanny and steal Harley. So here's my theory about why King Kong doesn't like Leomord or doesn't fit, at least from a surface level. Leomord's ramp up to success does not support King Kong's mechanical neuron. How do I say this? His brain isn't wired. King Kong is good with heroes that have a good flow. Like Suyo, he's great with Suyo. Alpha's momentum is just forward. Lancelot, that's why King Kong is like number 2 Lancelot in the history of ever. Because when you ask people, who's your Lancelot? Like, first pick, Lancelot. It's either Carl for sure, duh, or King Kong, which I respect. King Kong is pretty good with the Hayabusa as well. Like, there's a good state of flow there. But Leomord kind of stop-start. Leomord's like, all right, I have no Phantom Steed. I have to watch out. Okay, Phantom Steed, let's go. Whoop, I have to back out a little crazy. Oh, Phantom Steed again. 12 seconds, right? Ready? Oh, Phantom Steed. That's why I think King Kong isn't the best on heroes like Baxia or Fredrin. Like, King Kong is nigh untouchable on heroes that have high mechanical demands. Like, again, assassins, some fighters. But when it comes to like heroes like Baksha or Fredrin, that's why King Kong struggles. It's the same as Leomord. There is a certain tempo that just isn't fit for him. He hasn't mastered that just quite yet. So that's why. They ban Fanny and steal Harley. See, so Harley might be closer to what King Kong is comfortable with. And then Fanny, of course, King Kong is great on Fanny. King Kong is one of the best Fannies in the league. So that's why I think I agree. I think I see this, Bri. There is some, there are legs to your hot take. Here's a take about TNC. Oh, here we go. Jose Gabriel Yu. TNC will not make the playoffs. Woo! From number 3 to basically being the people's champion, going into preseason and then they lose week 1 and then they come back to not making the playoffs. Wow, even with Stome coming in, which by the way, I like. I love Stome's performance. And I like that even in their mic checks, you know that he talks a lot, which is a good sign. I have heard some push and pull. There are schools of thought in some camps who say too much talk or, shot calling at an unhealthy rate is, a detriment to your performance. But hey, a team like TNC who in history has shown us that if you don't talk at all or you don't talk too much, then you're in trouble. Someone like Stome who, has a mouth on him, that sounded wrong. Someone who talks throughout a match or a game is good. So, Jose Gabriel Yu, week 2, I mean, they're a little shaky compared to what we expected, but I think you're fine. Let's not count them out just yet, all right? Let's not count them out just yet. Before we move on, quick reminder, if you haven't yet, like and subscribe again. It really helps. I am planning a big giveaway, so I don't know if I'm going to do it at 15K. We're at 13 point something, so let's get to 15K, baby! Here's a take from Kent Jervis Panaligan. Shark scale is better on rush. Hey, that's not an MPL take, but I agree. Shark scale, its best bit is rush. Pick a tall ratchet. It's Beyblade X, by the way. Moving on. Daniel De Assis. Talking about AP Bren. Quick little jab. Valen wins games. I respect Valentina. Valentina is a A+ or S tier pick in the current meta game, but here's the take. AP Bren, playoff secured. Does that mean like you're automatically knocking someone out because they haven't made it to the playoffs in like, I don't know, 2 or 3 seasons, 4 seasons now? But them to come in, someone's gonna fall. Who is it? Alikum, Ralph Gubriel. Giving KLVJ a playmaking hero like Sora is an instant win. Playmaking hero, check. I think this has been covered in a few desks wherein we talked about AP Bren. The King needs a playmaking hero. I don't want to see him on like a Uranus. Even Phoveus, I think he struggled on a Phoveus. I'd rather see him on like, again, aforementioned Sora, an Arlot, even Yu Zhong. Might be tough to see him on a Benedetta, like these types of XP laners, Esmeralda. So yeah, playmaking with good initiation, good crowd control, good setup. I agree. You're right, Alikum. Before we get into the predictions, let's take one from Aljon Emparado. Week 1 didn't really show who the top dogs or underdogs are. Week 2 proved Filipino teams adapt fast. This season is getting unpredictable. No one's safe, not even the top seed. I like the one thing you said here. The season is getting unpredictable. The season isn't unpredictable just quite yet. I think there is an echelon of teams wherein this is the top half, this is the bottom half. Bottom half teams are, more likely to shuffle. That's why I think Twisted Minds are kind of in that weird spot right now, in that lull, because is it Owl, is it Nosha? Who's it going to be? I think they're asking themselves the same question. You also have Onyx, who is in like the cusp of that lower half, right? Like, is it Ryota? Is it Kirk today? How is Severo catching up to the system? But yeah, getting unpredictable. There is some modicum of predictability. You can read the room, but you're right. No one is safe, not even the top seed, because Liquid, in their matches in week 2, went all the way. They went 3 games every single time when they played in week 2. So I hope it stays this way, even if it is tiring for us casters. I hope it stays this way. I hope we keep going 3 games, and I hope the leaderboards keep shuffling up. That makes for great esports entertainment. Let's try to predict week 3. I have the schedule here. Real quick, let's run through it. Onyx versus AP Bren. I think AP Bren has figured out their hero pool situation. AP Bren takes it 2-1. Team Liquid versus Omega. Man, I wish Omega the best, but Liquid takes this in a sweep. 2-0. AP Bren versus Twisted Minds. Shoot. Twisted Minds 2-1. Woo! Smart Mega versus Falcons. Falcons 2-0. TNC versus Liquid. Liquid 2-0. Falcons versus Twisted. Falcons 2-0. And then last but not least, Onyx versus Rora. Man, am I really going to give Onyx 2 losses this week? Rora 2-1. Let's do it. Rora 2-1, all right? Those are my predictions. Let me know in the comments below if you agree and what your predictions are. Quick reminder, I take these hot takes from my Facebook page. I do post like at the end of the week, like day 3, at that very end of that match. Send them in ASAP. Again, I want spicy takes, please. Let's get spicy. Ha! Ha! And then, of course, in my YouTube community tab, I post there too. A lot of the takes this week came from there, so I love the YouTube community. You guys are super duper insightful. And of course, the video comment section of this upload. So send them in. I want you to talk about the teams, talk about the players, talk about the picks, talk about the happenings, talk about whatever someone said. The production, if we tried something new, give us some comments or like feedback on our performance. Like that really helps. And of course, anything and everything that happens inside the MPL arena, which I would love to see you there. The Victoria Sports Tower is huge. Would love to see you guys come in. Buy your tickets via ph-mpl.com. Upon checkout, use my code MPL PH S17 Leo to get 50 whole pesos off. That's right, 50 pesos off of your tickets. Just use my code MPL PH S17 Leo, and it comes with some free in-game goodies. I don't know. Also, if you're coming over and you use my code, just let me know. Holler at me. Love to meet you guys. Come up to the desk. I'm sure that's allowed. That being said, I'll see you guys week number 3. It's going to be great. I hope it does get more unpredictable. And I hope you all had a great Holy Week break, because I know I did. See y'all there. Palag na to.